Final hour of trading in the session. Let's jump into the close. Welcome back, guys. We went positive on the day. What a reversal off the bottom there. The S&P now positive 0.04%. The Dow as well 0.13. The NASDAQ still lagging ever so slightly, but individual tech stocks very, very strong this afternoon. We'll talk about a few, I'm sure. The rest of this board pretty red the rest of the way down there, including some of the cryptos, guys. But lots moving on a Monday afternoon. Let's get into the final hour of the day.
Oh, yes, there is plenty moving. 1 hour to go. But I will say this. We always measure things by the NASDAQ. It's not that, look, S&P matters, the Dow matters, but we always sort of say the NASDAQ. So the double green that Trader Pratt and Ms. Fear were wearing this morning, unless we get another 0.2% on the NASDAQ, it hasn't quite done its job. Now, AMC was moving to the upside ever since it's made a top ever since the market's been getting to those highs. That top is just above 36. You can see I got the 92 to the short side here. So we're trading some AMC. I'm going to be trading some Robinhood, although I have one execution and got in and out at the same price. We're looking at that one as well, but definitely some movers here, Sean.
Yeah, there's always AMC at that level. You talked about that. Palantir with a nice little bounce back today as well. And we got some nice, that's my last out there. So some nice bids here on Palantir to the downside. Ding, 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 all the way up. I'm not holding it now, but that's nice as well. And then the trade of the day is this Nio short, which is still fine, but we're bouncing around 38, 39. So we've highlighted that 39 level as an area of potential concern. So with the NASDAQ battling back right now, I think we could probably go short Nio again. So we're going to do that. We're going to go short 38.90 right now and give it back to 39. So let's take a Nio short here and see if that works out for the rest of the day. I don't know if the NASDAQ's going to climb, but 0.24 is not bad. It's a nice little comeback for the NASDAQ, bouncing off 15 grand. So good for anybody that was able to hold any of these longs. Now let's see, look, Apple all-time high, Microsoft all-time high, Facebook getting there, so that the top tech stocks continue to work.
But SoFi's not at an all-time high? What?
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm still long SoFi from the morning. If you haven't guessed, SoFi is barcoding again, and I only chuckled because you guys were here on Friday. You remember this thing, it just wouldn't move, and I took a long consolidation off the low of the day, and then Saturday. This time it actually went. I was up at like 1450. I'd covered some, this is going to head back to that 1480 to 15 area, and then it falls right back down. It's still kind of in the money. I got 1430 long, but not a heck of a lot happening, guys. And of course, gonna shout out, happy birthday, Ronnie. So there you go. If you tell us it's your birthday, we'll shout you out. That's what we're all about here, for sure. We did talk about some Tesla today. Oddly enough, I have not made a single execution in Tesla today. It did bounce off, or close enough to this 675 area that maybe I should have gotten into it. That's what I was looking for. But if you look for the weakness, even with this bounce back, Tesla under pressure, as Sean mentioned, Nio, the EV names have not really gotten off the bottom here. So definitely Tesla showing some weakness. I did mention Robinhood, this breakout trade. Talk about, where's my look a gift? Talk about looking a gift horse in the mouth. I'd take an even dollar break on Robinhood, just watch it go all the way up to like 49.40, cover nothing because I'm sitting at 49.45, missed by 5 cents, and then just what am I doing? Get out flat. Good thing I got out flat because I could have actually lost $1 on the trade, but I probably should have taken some profit. But Robinhood looking like it's on the move again. It had found some support, some of it gone now. Brendan.
Just looking at ARK, guys. ARK on... down today, on its way back down to recent lows here on the daily chart anyways, 2.3%. I was just reading this story. Michael Burry Scion has a put position, apparently, against ARK's main fund, ARKK. Down, maybe not on that, but a lot of those stocks in that under pressure as well. But interesting, guys.
Fight. Kathy.
I don't think Michael Burry's doing anything revolutionary here because, the market's at all-time highs. And if you do think that some of these names, that ARK's invested in are a little bit high, like a Palantir. We talked about, there's lots of names there that they're in on. So you can look at that ARK Investments, and they publish all of their holdings. So that's kind of a cool thing about ARK for sure. Way open
respect to that.
With their positioning here. Okay, so I'm just looking at Wish. Context Logic is once again down near that spot. We are short Nio. That's the only position we've taken on so far here. And then Sono. You can look, wow. So a lot of trades happening on Sono, and now we're just holding something super small. It's from the same bottom, so that's why you're going to see us now long at $40.50. It hasn't retraced back to then since we ended the show. It's the same position. Should have taken it out here, but again, it's just lazy. 41, 42. So we can get back up to that side. We will take out some Sonos. I'm holding that until we do have the close, basically. I just want to see where we go on that one. It's a very, very small position. Nio's starting to work as well. We've changed up a little bit of our layouts again, so we have some new monitors, so it's going to take a little bit of time looking at them. Clover, okay, I'm just looking to get some ideas for you guys. Put them in the chat if there's anything you want us to look at here. Will PaySafe ever find a bottom? No, apparently, maybe zero. So I'm just going to leave that one in the old account and hope and pray that it gets back going. One thing you don't have to hope and pray for, though, I believe Clover is a name here that may have found a bottom, unlike PaySafe. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. My charts did crash again there, but so we had to rebuild them. But here we go. Off of earnings here, I think this is a decent spot. I mean, I like where Clover's in. I like the healthcare space, obviously, with the population getting older. Forget about the pandemic, just in what they're doing, revolutionizing, changing the game a little bit for healthcare. So watch out for Clover Health here. I like the bottoms, man. This is a better bottom than a PaySafe, right? You go over to PSFE, New York. Yep, there you go. Yeah. And this one's, I think it was down 14% or so.
16.
If it ever goes. So my charts.
So, I mean, okay, I don't have the daily chart up for that, but 850 on a volume spike was a temporary bottom here on PaySafe. If there was size in front of it, for the day trade at least, I'd be looking at that if I see any size at 850. I don't really see any, like 50 to 60,000 shares in the bid, which isn't a heck of a lot. It's done 40 million, but if that beefs up a little bit, 5 cents worth of risk, it's not a horrible spot. We do have some other trades on, but the daily chart, oh, mine's not really loading up either, there, Sean.
Yeah, so no, it doesn't matter. So it broke through. This is from when it became, so it was BFT before. Remember what I said about all the SPACs? Man, all the SPACs are getting spanked right now. So it's spanked SPAC time. And yeah, so this PaySafe is going to be in trouble for a while. They did acquire, they lost $440 million on the Safety Pay acquisition. So that's never a good sign. You did see Penn, the day they bought Score Media, was down early, but then rallied back. Was sort of hoping for the same here on PaySafe, but that does not happen. I am taking the long now on PaySafe. We'll see if it does hold that bottom, which is 850, like Nio was mentioning. So I like the PaySafe trade. We'll see. Nio did go into the money. There's my minute chart. Here it is. Did go into the money for us. Not much, about a dime. We'll wait to see if it goes even lower than that. I'm expecting to get out first half around this VWAP, which is back down there. So if we can take 20 cents on that, I'll be pretty happy with the first half. And then we'll see if we can revisit something like a 38.50. Remember, Neil and I are flat at the end of every single day. So we're trading on a prop firm here with day trade, a prop floor with Day Trade the World. So we do have to be flat on the end of every day. So all these plays that we're making now are simply just that. They're end of day plays.
Exactly. That's why we have to take the profits and say congratulations. No, AMC, like I said, I was short off that 36 top 92s. I got some out at 65, well, about 65 here, and then took another leg out here for a 50-cent win. It's bounced off VWAP a couple of times already. If it gets there again, I'm very likely to just grab that, almost dollar winner. The shot mentioned, we're flat at the end of the day. Like, I'm not sitting here shorting AMC thinking it's going to $30. I mean, maybe it does, but I will be out in the next push to the downside. The other one, a couple of questions I was answering in the chat about NAOV, and I said, like, I was short multiple times on NAOV this morning and later on in the session, but first shot was here. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see. The first shot was here right off of 930, right at that 350 failure. It gets into VWAP, actually breaks down, so it was looking pretty good. I get back into it at 350. It took out the top here, so we lose like 10 cents on that trade. And then I basically sit it out because we're talking about a $4 level. So I wait till it gets to 4 again, and then I short into it. I'm like, oh, this is looking pretty good. Round into like a 390 short. It pops down in, start covering 10% at 85. Next thing you know, it's blowing out the top. And then it fail breaks. I took this 3 separate times off the four break, including this stop out. And this was the last one where it failed jailbreaked at 407. Couldn't even go another cent, and then the second I saw that, I'm like, okay, fine, boom. We get back in at 404. That was the last entry. At this point, I've now given everything away that I had made short on the stock in the day, and then this flush happened. There's not a heck of a lot you can do about it. The way it was trading on the way up led me to believe it would sort of grind its way down, so I had bids all the way through. I couldn't even cancel them. In 1 minute, it was like, bam, it had fallen like 10%. So I'm all out of this thing except for like the last, now 5% actually, as it continues to flush. If it breaks 350, this one could really fall. Brendo?
A couple of things to note. DOCS, big mover last week, just popping up on a little bit of volume. Also wanted to show you this one, fan favorite, Co-Diagnostics, CODX. They reported earnings, better than expected, it would appear. Day highs just brought in a whole bunch of volume there, but look at this reversal underway. Pretty hard rejection off 1150 for CODX.
Co-diagnostics in the house. Okay, what about Moderna? Moderna back in that same kind of space here. I mean, how key is it, guys, that you watch out for key levels? I mean, look at this 350 level on Moderna. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It ticks down $1 lower on a wipeout there to 349, and then it's just battling back, and now it's hovering around that exact same key spot of 375. So, that was a great bottom there. Should have been had for sure, but missed opportunity there on mRNA early, and we talked about that on the morning show that we missed that bottom on mRNA. So 350. We'll see if that can come back tomorrow. Nucor. So I know Biden's going to be speaking soon. Remember the infrastructure. I mean, he's probably going to be speaking on. Afghanistan, I guess, but we're going to wait to see here because I think Nucor, there's U.S. Steel. Don't tell me the charts are okay. This is down 2% today. Nucor, I believe it's the best steel company. I mean, there is X as well, U.S. Steel, which is
Steel's holding up.
Yeah, it's holding up to near 30. But Nucor may be something to buy if you guys wanted something for a longer term. Did it actually go to 120? Yeah, so right off the open, it flushed pretty hard, and now it's back to 123.50. So Nucor again, if you wanted to. I don't want to diversify because I'm in tech, and right now it's just ripping. Like I was saying to you guys before, look at Apple. I saw a note about Apple here earlier, and someone said, Apple's at all-time highs. What do you do with it? Just keep doing this, man. Just keep backing up the truck for Apple and keep putting it into your cash cow account and don't do anything with it. This is exactly what we want from Apple. It's at all-time highs. Anybody that sells it always has sort of seller's regret. So I wouldn't sell it unless you really do think, it's just a play on the market, right? If you're not trading the market and you really think, okay, you know what? Maybe the market's due for a fall here because we are at all-time highs. Apple's at all-time highs. But remember, we were at all-time highs in the market yesterday and the day before that as well. So, with this happening on that note, just keep on buying some Apple, man. They do have a small dividend. And like I've said before, I don't know another company that really has more tailwinds with it than Apple. Apple's in everything. So if you do like that talk, hold on to Apple, and we'll wait to see where it goes. Just a quick update here. Nio is off to the races here a little bit. Not off to the races, but it does tick us upside. So now our average price is 38.88. So we'll look for that short on Nio. We're going to play it if it busts through 39.10, 39.11, something like that. Worth the risk here into the close. There's still 40 minutes left, 45.
Yeah, plenty of time left for these bad boys to move, and NAOB continues to move. It just hit down to 340 and change. Actually, just hit 343. I grabbed that out, and it's continuing to flush. I think ultimately, even if we continue this move to the downside, I don't think it's going any further than $3. I'll try to hang on to this one into the close, but as I said, and I was layered on the bid there, only to see it absolutely just crater through. This time, we actually wait for a parabolic move down and then get out at the bottom, which is what I would like to do every single time. AMC still moving, and I thought Robinhood was going to give a few trading opportunities here going into this close because it had this. Like the fail break at 49, it kind of wasn't a fail break. It failed for me because I didn't take any profit. And then it does this candle down, holds 48 even, and we're still just sort of, low volume, barcoding around here off VWAP. If 48 were to go, I think there's an actionable trade there. Brendo?
Another big mover this afternoon, guys. Little online security. Looks like software security company from Israel popping up here. MAGS. This was about 1 o'clock this afternoon. This thing just went crazy. They declared a $1.72.5 per share dividend. So a one-time special dividend has this thing moving around on big volume, guys.
That'll do it.
So if you had that special dividend, you went from mags to riches. I don't know if anybody has any idea what that means, but from rags to riches, right? So mags here as my chart.
What about wags to riches?
Wags?
Shout out to Billions.
Yes, Bill. Oh, yeah, bag. Yeah, wags.
When is that coming back on again?
I don't know. I think they're done. Are they? I don't know.
No. Is Billions done? When is Billions coming back on again? It's a fun show. Like, I'm not saying all of it's overly realistic.
Let's get our research team
it's a heck of a lot of. It's definitely
ASAP.
Do we have a research team?
Yes, we do. Us. So you just have to Google.
You mean I have to Google it myself?
You just have to Google it. Yeah, that's how we do it.
So that's apparently
research team.
You got to put in your work around by yourself. Why is
Showtime? I think it is. Showtime, is it? I think it is. I think they.
Is it Showtime?
Is it HBO or Showtime? I think it's Showtime.
You guys tell us. Apparently, season 5 just came out. Thank you, Luis Valencia. There apparently just came out.
Yeah.
So I know SCSN was obviously exciting last week. I mean, okay, fine. Like,
HBO Max.
It was obviously exciting on Friday. Last
Showtime.
week.
I mean, we're getting double talk here.
Is it?
I think it's Showtime, but some people are saying HBO. I don't know.
Well, you guys figure it out and let us know. I'll talk SESN.
Showtime.
Not nearly as exciting as it was on Friday, but there was an actionable trade that I didn't make early at 8 o'clock. I'll zoom in so you can actually see this for real. At 8 o'clock, it rolled over hard at $1.70. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. I did see it pop. It did that 9:30 pop, couldn't even get to 170, so I did short it one time at 154, and then basically got out at the bottom here, low of the day. I've done nothing with it since. It continues to sort of barcode then flush. Not a ton of volatility, but over 100 million shares. So if you were, like, I guess spread trading it hasn't been too bad. This SoFi, put up or shut up, man. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I might just put the stop in, like, forget about the low of the day. I'll just stop it at like 14.35 so these last shares don't turn into a loser, because it just feels like, barcoding is the way of the day here on SoFi. Hanging on to that AMC. It's still above 35 for now. Hanging on to that NAOV, still holding at 340. And I did think there was going to be a little bit of something here that we could have been doing with either PaySafe or SoFi, but SoFi's not moving. PaySafe, come on. PaySafe also, if it eventually loads here, you can kind of see, here you go, right there at that 850 level. So it's not really catching much of a bounce anyways. If it does dip down one more time, maybe on volume to 850, and then bounces off that level, I might take a shot, just like 52 or 53 long, only to see if we can't scalp a little something off. But watch out, Robinhood is right at that 48 level, so that could come into the downside.
All right, I'm willing to look at Hood here as well. My chart is still on mags here. Still Nio, still not doing anything. We will take one more average in around that 39 level and then protect it against 39.12. PayPal starting to go a little bit as well to the upside. That FLGC made new all-time highs. And this is the thing. When there's not much behind some of these names, guys, you got to watch out, because how many all-time highs are these stocks going to make in back-to-back days? Like in FLGC here. Let's call it up and just see what happened today. It hit 1750, and now you're back down to 15. So there it is off the open. 1750 was its new all-time high. Now all-time high 21 and change, and that's just faded out the whole rest of the day here. Reason why we're looking at that is, it needs to, oops, we don't need that. It needs to come back here into this area. Let's get this going into 13, 14, something like that. We're getting very, very close for that. So if FLGC can come back to 1450, maybe something to reload there. So that's something to look at there, FLGC, in case it does move. Yeah, the same thing of Microsoft, man. I saw people asking, it's Google, Microsoft, Apple. Those are my top three positions that I own. And come on, look at my charts, didn't move again. Microsoft here, again, another day high, all-time high today, breaking through. So look, as the COVID variant, unfortunately, it seems to be coming back, and not just coming back, but sticking around. These stay-at-home tech names that continue to work. So just watch out for Microsoft to continue to go. I think Amazon has some big opportunities. We will talk also.
Bounce right off that 3,200, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You always got to be ready to buy those dips.
I remember when I first bought Amazon, and I don't want to say it was 1,000, but it was something like that. And I remember some people around here saying, "Wow, you're buying something for $1,000 a share." I said, "I'm not buying something. I'm buying a lot." And now you're seeing where it is, 3,200. I don't think that name stops anytime soon. Although we're right into this area here again. 30, I'd even go a little lower, 31, 31.50. We could revisit it, but if you did want to go more bricks and mortar right now, we do have Walmart coming strong here after market. People are expecting a big beat, which to me is a little scary. It might be priced in already. Walmart's been up nicely over the last little while, as my day chart, as you can see now, Crash City.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to show you the Walmart chart, right? Like, this has been finally getting off the schneid, at least. So participating, I guess, and not even close towards those. Let's zoom it out a little bit. Not even close towards these highs, which unfortunately, I thought going into earnings we'd already be testing like 155, at least a little bit higher than that. And you're getting to that 150 mark only now. So, I'd love to see this one continue. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm holding on to it for the long term. I don't really feel like there's too much to do here other than just sort of wait and see. It's a bit of a bellwether for the rest of the week because you have Target and Lowe's coming through, guys. I'm missing one. It's Walmart, Target, Lowe's, and there is somebody else that's reporting this week. You guys can let me know. But either way, Walmart's going to be a definite bellwether for the rest of how this week goes for the ES. This 48 level on Robinhood, it's now bounced a couple of times. It's not an iceberg order or anything. I just feel like there's not enough volume for you to get. Like, I think it looks like it's going to break at some point, and then I'll look for that short trade breaking through. But it's just sort of going down. holding a little bit. There's not a heck of a lot of volume right now on Robinhood, although it is a key level, and it did have a volume spike into this price range. Otherwise, I wouldn't be too interested in this level break. But 40 minutes to go. There's plenty of time for that to go. I only have a couple of shorts on in the Sofi long, which, you know, of course, is doing nothing, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at this the same way as you, man. I mean, I got PaySafe on board as well, and that's not doing anything. So this PaySafe long off the bottom, we're hoping that we could get something moving a little bit here. It doesn't look like that something's going to be PaySafe, so we'll wait to see if that goes. Nio not doing anything either, so we got to look for some more things to happen here. I just did the little talk there about big cap NASDAQ stocks. Seems to be a good one. BTBT maybe. Okay, we looked at that Sessin. Sessin's starting to move a little bit now back to the upside. I don't have any shortable shares for that. It probably needs to be. I don't know. 120 on the day today, so that's decent. Oh my God! Again, I didn't even bother to load up my daily chart, guys, because right now chart's just not working. 120, 126, 130. So I don't know. Maybe this bottom here on Sessin, 130. See if we can punch that to the long side. So that might be something to look at. I'll try to work on my daily chart and see if that one gets going a little bit. Sonos now as well, kind of back up. Oh, damn it! Sonos. Still hovering. I was more waiting for it to get to VWAP. I'm going to put an order at 41.40. If we're lucky enough to get that, we'll take it. That is Sonos, and he is Brendan. What's up, bud?
Checking on Auto Nation, guys. Nice little pop here. Well, this is going back to 2 o'clock. This thing went 118 up to 123. Consolidating, though, just short of all-time highs for AN.
Auto Nation. I mean, look, this is the thing. Like, we're getting close. Okay, the NASDAQ is now 0.1, so you can add a Trader Prad to the green is good luck thing. Of course, I'm looking at Sessin here because as Sean mentioned it is starting to break to the upside a little bit, but it barcoded at 25 before. If it gets up to 135, I'd probably be fading this one. But I have to, I always say don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If I had not taken, if I had not already taken some profit on, there goes Robin. Did Robinhood just break? I don't think it did. I just got 48 even on Robinhood, but it didn't break. AMC, I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. This bounced at 35.13. I'm sitting here right in front of 35 on VWAP. Now, the only reason I'm not sort of scrambling to get out in this little range here is because of that notion. When you saw this morning when the market was falling and AMC was ripping, I just sort of feel like with the absolute reverse happening, there's some profit taking might happen in AMC as the market turns green, especially if it goes on the NASDAQ as well. So I kind of feel comfortable holding on to it. If I hadn't taken another leg out here at 35.40, I probably would I'd be doing that at the quarter mark. But because we're sitting there nicely pretty in the money, no worries there. And there goes Robin. I mean, this is a weird fill, because there must have been like one tiny little print below 48, like a dark pool or something. It triggered my order. So I'm now actually short at 48 instead of like 97s or 98s. It doesn't really matter. It's starting to roll over. I'll definitely try to cover some in front of 47.50 because that's what we do around here. Those quarters, those halves. Probably put something at like 65 or something. But Robinhood finally goes. Basically, the cue into this trade was one, the somewhat failed break at 49 when I looked a gift horse in the mouth. Then this spike down on volume into 48, turned on a dime, couldn't make a fresh high, couldn't even retest 49, and then we sort of barcode off 48, take the break. Now we'll see if we can't hold this one into the close. How do I only have, the market's going back towards the highs, and the only long I have is Sofi. Everything else I'm just sort of finding shorts. They're working, but it's like, where's the long?
Where's the love, right?
That's a good song. Where you do where is the long, but like to the where is the love music.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I won't do that for you guys because you don't want to hear that.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Yeah. So Shiba, Dogecoin. Sorry. There's a lot of coins going everywhere right now. We can have a quick look here if we wanted to on Ethereum for the day now. I mean, Dogecoin. I don't know. I'll have to get a price update on Dogecoin and see where that is. And I'll call it up here right now. But 3,200 for Ethereum. Kind of not doing much today. Bouncing around a little bit. We did. I mean, the new bottom there, 31.84. But still, we're still just hovering around. So for me, it's kind of a moot point right now on crypto land. And we can hear, let me see if this works. I think this will work. Does Kraken have Dogecoin? Hold on a second. DOGE. Here we go. Let's see if that loads up. I think it was last time. I thought it was like near 30 cents or so. Let's get a quick look on Dogecoin because I know there was some good talk from everyone's best friend Elon all about Dogecoin there. So here it is again. Yeah, 33 cents. So a nice little rally back for Dogecoin. So guys, get your Dogecoins locked and loaded now up to 33 cents off of a beautiful bottom. Again, I'm not in this name. for obvious reasons, but we did make it way down to 15 cents there. So just kind of like Ethereum and Bitcoin and all that, and Cardano, obviously I prefer all of those over Doge, but it doesn't mean that there is not Dogecoin billionaires out there. I wish I was one of them. But you could see right here, 16, 17 cents seems to have held. And now we go back to the upside. I still look out for the Saturday Night Live tops here, which were like 50, 60 cents, and then a breakthrough to 75. Wow. So maybe we get going on Dogecoin, but crypto's back in play. Watch BTB, Mara, Coinbase, things like that. But yeah, the strong keep getting stronger with Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I believe Cardano is the next one to join that party.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Dogecoin. But rising tide sometimes lifts all ships.
Yep.
Although if
Yep.
your ship has holes in it, then it'll only ever last so long. Didn't mean to go to Sono there. I wanted to come back in just to Sofi. Like I said, it's getting really close to breaking down. I know this looks like a level here at 1435, but the simple lack of volume, I'm not going to reverse this position. I'm just going to get out of 35 breaks. So we'll chop that one up as like it's a somewhat hit because it did work out originally, but then I got back in and nothing happened. So I want to go to Virgin Galactic. I did say this week that I was going to put on more shares of Virgin Galactic, and then today somehow it's holding right up at that 25. I was completely convinced we'd be looking at the low 20s either today or tomorrow. With this market rebounding, that might not be the case. I might just have to stick some shares in above like 25 here, begrudgingly, just a few, I guess. And then, of course, maybe I did look a gift horse in the mouth in Robinhood, because that 48 short, which we just took the breakdown of like not too long ago, goes about here to 47.80 and then can't seem to go any further. Now, unless this is challenging VWAP, I don't have any reason to get out of it. Although it just feels like with volumes the way that they are today, and I guess liquidity where it is, I'm a little bit cautious about like any stock that we're trading that has even a small imbalance might just get moved because of the lack of volume. Like not a huge imbalance might move something a little bit more than it would before. So if I have a chance to take some profit off before 350 hits on Robinhood, if I'm still in it, on AMC, if I'm still in it, then for sure I'll probably cover both of those trades. For now, they're both sitting in the money, so no real problems here. Although I haven't taken any profit on Robinhood, I did already take 2/3 out of AMC.
I mean, is Walmart going to have a good earnings? I mean, I don't know. I think so. I don't ever like to get into something before earnings. I'm already in at Walmart. My price is much, much lower than this. And I'm not even, like, I haven't bought any recently. I haven't done anything. My price is actually $100. So again, I bought that when it broke through 100. I don't have the daily chart up again. I've talked about why. But here we go. We'll look at it on this platform. Why not? This is a little bit better. Yeah, so I mean, I'm talking about way back where I bought this. So I mean, any of these kind of dips are really super nice, man. Back down to 132. If Walmart does miss today, it'll probably get crushed, to be honest with you, because there is an expectation that they beat here. We just absolutely murdered this 144 level as soon as it went upside. Just tick, couple days, right to almost highs again of 153.80. So Walmart's going to go one of two directions. And again, it's not rocket science, but if it has a big number, then it's taking out this 154. So I don't know. I think it might be worth getting a starter position on Walmart. I don't think it goes anywhere regardless. If it's an average report, I think it's fine. And then you could buy some more tomorrow if you did like that. So that's my call there on Walmart. I'm a little nervous that they may not beat the way everybody wants them to, just because of the way the chart has moved. And now I can't even close my other chart. So that's pretty hype. Okay, pay safe there. We did take a nice win. I mean, we'll barbecue up some profits, but really our long-term portfolios getting fried up with pay safe. So when I can make a little bit of money, we'll do that. There's a quick 10 cents, man, just off the bottom. It's back to this level. The idea is to hold it to VWAP. So now we can do that. I just want to put something in my pocket because my downside was a break of 50. So like, a break of 50 probably puts me out at 40. So, take 10 cents to lose 10 cents. So now pay safe, playing with house money on that one. Thank God for that. And then Nio, we just take our last average in. We'll see where it goes, man. And if it takes out this 39.10, then we will be flat with it as well. So Nio, we're definitely not giving back what we made early, man. This was the trade of the day. I love this short. Now the NASDAQ is back to Greensville, looks like right now. So that's going to be happening soon. So congratulations, anybody that was able to hold those bids. And we're getting rewarded with it today. So hopefully the NASDAQ continues to work, man. And if your portfolio is loaded up on tech, then today and all of the last little while has been a good ride for you. So congratulations on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for it. If you're it's hard not to be loaded up on tech, realistically, depending on how you do diversify, if you do at all. I only wanted to bring up Target here because they also report, and if we're going to be talking a little bit about Walmart, Target's chart on the daily is much more impressive than Walmart, yet the stock trades at a lower multiple barely. Like, that's actually a little bit interesting, and we were talking about that one a little bit this morning. So if you start to think about, if there is a dip, you might think to yourself, yeah, but Walmart, you probably find support a little bit faster. That's not necessarily true, considering how Target is actually priced. Like, it's entirely possible that Target could withstand a smaller move. Well, it might end up with a smaller move into the downside here. I've been looking for a place to get into this one, and if I ever take some shares off of Walmart, it might just be to get them into Target and then get some love into that name. AMC, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not going to average into this trade or get back any more shares in this trade unless it's right off of that 36 level, but it just feels to me that if it's not screaming up, and I'm watching for volume spikes here, but as long as the you guys can see, as long as the volume doesn't do anything crazy and we sort of stay at this lower end of volume, then I'll hang in with all of these shorts here. I mean, if you have a market up at the top, and I essentially have Robinhood, sort of a meme-ish sort of name, AMC as well to the south side, and then NAOV, which is one of those small cap plays, I sort of feel like that's the right place to be. Like, people will be profit taking in these names for sure. NAOV at this point either hits 315 or so by the close, or I'll just cover this one below that 350 mark. I don't know that I want it getting back above VWAP, but it doesn't feel like it has any chance to do that whatsoever. And one from this morning, which is starting to get going just a little bit here. Now, I'm watching Wish. If it retests 7, I think that's a pretty solid level here. I think we're talking about that one right at the beginning of the show, like at least about half an hour or so ago. And it's moved a grand total of like 15 pennies to slowly come up here. This is why I'm not trying to overtrade. It's like, hold the things that are winning. Don't force yourself into something else. And you just trade what's actually moving. Trade the actual levels that you have in front of you. You can't really force the action, right? Like, if you didn't have anything long for this entire move up, you don't necessarily need to be buying tops. This is August, right? And if you're sitting on a short, which despite the market moving up is working in the money, well, maybe you want to hang on for the bigger winner if you have that opportunity to do so. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I really did want to trade some of the SESN for you guys, but if it continues to do this, which this is kind of extreme because you can still do the gap up, but if it continues to barcode, it needs to test higher before I would jump into a short. Right? Like, I don't need this taking out multiple levels. Its volume is also slowing down as well. So you want to make something is moving. You want to make sure something is actually giving you levels to trade off of. Otherwise, you just be bleeding away your profits from the day.
So there we go. We'll flush down Sonos, and it's my #1 stock still today, even after this move. We loaded up right now, but Sonos right now just collapses on itself, like basically throws up all over itself right now. Similar to this one. Watch this. This is a bad one. This, I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't work. Hopefully it doesn't work. There we go. Wow. There it goes.
That's supposed to be
Sonos. So that is Sonos, and that's supposed to be me. So Sonos makes a nice little bottom there at 39.70. No idea what caused that move, but there's the flush down, and that's why we're small. Like, small there, small there. We took another one, and then we got out. So it breaks out. That's it. Sonos. See you later, alligator. That one's gone right now. Sonos still my #1 stock on the day, believe it or not. So we'll wait for that one to see where it goes from now, but I'll probably stay away. Nio coming back down a little bit, obviously, off this flush. And again, I don't know if this is a NASDAQ flush or what's going on, but we are short Nio 1, 2, 3. We will take no more than that. Our average price is 91. It's printing 87. So, I mean, we could take a 4-penny hit or win. We're not going to do that. We're going to wait for at least these 80s to come through. Hopefully that does come a little bit faster than we wanted it to, and then we'll be able to get out a little bit there. And then hopefully VWAP is the next stop here for NIO with imbalances coming very, very soon. What's up, B?
Just looking at Tencent, guys. If you remember back this morning, the Soros fund revealing they have officially exited their position in TME. This thing at all-time lows, currently trying to get back above 9 up here. It's tried twice now and failed to prevent closing at all-time lows for TME.
Yeah, TME, Tencent Music, defecating all over itself. And yes, that is for you, Johannes. It's not Neil used to say defecate on itself. I still say defecate on itself. It's just I wasn't looking at Sonos. I mean, I was looking for... I need to wait for like a parabolic candle to the downside before I say that. So there were things that did that in the morning, like maybe a 10 cent a little bit here. It's only down 8%. I mean, there's things that are faring a little bit worse than that. But yeah, that candle you saw on Sonos, NAOV at the time, guys, like it was, if we'd been live when this thing defecated through $4, I would have dropped a line for you there. And we probably don't need a graphic for that. We had this thing, but this is more about like, you know what? I actually don't know what that's supposed to mean. I guess we're beating up a crap stock. Like I'm shorting a bad stock, so I'm beating up a piece of. It doesn't really make any sense because you wouldn't want to punch a turd because all you're gonna do is mess yourself up. But anyways, that's what that thing is all about. I don't know. I'm a bit of a boxing fan, but I don't know why you'd ever want to punch a turd. It doesn't really make any sense. Just to come back over to a name that we've been talking about, but I have still not traded today, and I still don't see a trade unless it bounces back down towards the lows and you can catch something, and that's Tesla. So we keep saying over and over again, look for relative strength and weakness on big moving days. And do like today, I know the NASDAQ's flat and the ES is flat, but you want to sort of say to yourself, this is kind of a strong day. The market came in on a Monday looking like we're down 1%. It could follow through. All signs were towards weakness, and we recover all the way. What didn't recover? Tesla, down here, that 5% move. So, you know, what that sort of tells me is there's a good shot for Tesla to retest some of these, you know, like whether it's going to be the 666 the next couple of days, I'm not sure that'll even hold up. You might be looking back down towards, like, if this continues, you might be looking back down towards those 620s. For me, every time we've been dipping to 600 and below, I've been kind of buying it and then intending on taking some wins, but then I don't. I just end up holding it all. So anyways, we'll see what happens. If it breaks 600 again, it's probably going to give you an opportunity. But some relative weakness in the EV space, to be sure, on this day, as we're getting really close to Greensville, although we're not there. We're still not there on the NASDAQ. 24 minutes for the green on Miss V to make the difference.
It will get to green. So you don't have to worry about that. We'll see. We'll see if it gets to green. I think it will.
I'm glad you're confident.
Yeah, I'm very confident. Okay, so here goes Nio. Again, we just took it off, so we'll hit the hot dog cannon for a nice little win right now. We're short 92. It's a dime in the money. We'll hit it. I don't know. I mean, that's like I said, we are day traders here, so we are trying to make as much money as we can intraday on these names. So that's a good one for us. And you're going to see us trade a little bit differently now, obviously, at the close show than we do at the open. I mean, the open levels are much, much different than what we're dealing with right now. And you get the whole rest of the day to react to trade. So things trading a little bit different on that note. I would love to go long AMC. I just needs to get back here, man. I want to take this 36.20. When AMC's up 6, 7, 8%, man, it could get a run on it at the end of the day. So I don't have a problem going long AMC, and I think that that's probably a decent spot. But for me, again, just to be technical, man, I mean, this is what we're doing. It has to break certain levels for me, or I'm not involved. So if AMC can go, that's great. Otherwise, we'll wait on it. We could check back on GME as well, just to see what that stock is doing. I think they were both up decently today. I've just told that I'm going to stay back and blow my layout out and do a whole bunch more charts because honestly, can't continue like this. It's ridiculous.
And 162, sort of all on those lines, Sean. Like obviously, like when you see us flip the charts, like we use and abuse this platform. Like we're flipping symbols because you guys have us look at this, look at that. So they're trying to load up, and that's what happens there. But along those lines, like the Memes and Movers show, I think the content has absolutely been fantastic. But if you guys have been watching, there has been some technical issues when we've been throwing over and we've been dealing with some sound problems. The reality is there's a level that you guys expect from us at Trader TV that we want to make sure that we're living up to. So we're going to put it on hold while we figure out all the issues with Memes and Movers. It's going to be coming back, but it's not going to come back until it is stable and things are running perfectly. So, you know, you're not going to see Memes and Movers maybe for a day or two, but believe me, the team will be working hard so that when we come back, it'll be bigger and stronger than ever. We're just going to listen to the fans and give you guys what you want and make sure you get a top-notch quality program every single day. That's what we're about here. We want to make sure we maintain that.
Yep, so Memes and Movers has been shelved for now. So we'll get it back to you guys. Like Neil said, it's all about the quality, not the quantity. So the show's not going anywhere. It will be back, although we did have to fire Trader Pratt. So we'll just slip that. No, we're just joking. He's still here, but he's on thin ice, so I'm just joking again.
He's chuckling over there, too.
Yeah,
I see him
know,
laughing.
I know. Probation he's on. He's on probation. Okay. Yes, thank you guys. So thank you for the continued love, obviously, on the show. We will continue to do our best for you every single day. PaySafe now 7 cents in the money. It doesn't really want to move. We did take out that dime already. We talked about that. But right now we'll go over to Brett and see what he's all up to.
Pratt is also playing with a, what are those things called? The sand time things? measuring something or other. He's
Sand.
an hourglass. Thank you.
Hourglass.
Thank
Yes, I
Thank
got
you,
something that
Sean.
Brendan
Thank
did
you.
not.
That's what I'm.
Woohoo!
Nailed it.
Give it up.
Yeah. We're happy now.
If you own Brendan, like,
Let's go, Brendan. Let's go.
One more thing. Let me show you this headline. We've been talking about autonomous driving a little bit today, both on Tesla's part with a new investigation and on Nio's part over in China as well. But this just out a few minutes ago, guys, 3:36. Unfortunately, it looks like a few children injured in a crash in a UK school parking lot involving a Tesla. It does not say anything about whether or not it was autonomous driving related or not, but a heads up.
yeah, I mean, there was a slight move down in there, like a couple of dollars, but obviously that's a horrible story. No one
Yes,
wants,
that's not
nobody wants to see that at all. So, like, there's nothing to be said. I mean, Tesla's not really moving off of it. We just hope that everybody's okay with something along those lines. Things that are moving, I'll get to Robinhood and
Things that make you go,
this one very well. I don't know. I keep thinking we have a name for this, and we actually don't. But anyways, we'll walk on some water. I finally take profit on Robinhood, and then I get out like in front of 65, and then it does this move down. I'm bidding in front of 47 quarters, and then it dips down to like 47.40. Now again, still working in the money, but it's now 3.40, and I did say Robinhood was one that, you know, at 3.50, if I have a chance to take profit off and it hasn't broken some of these levels, I will just get out manually. And AMC is kind of the same way with the final third of that position. NAOV, I don't care. There's a, like, I've been trading a long time. There's a 99.99999% chance that NAOV is not going to have an imbalance that'll matter. Like, those small cap stocks never do. So you don't care what happens to them at 350. It doesn't ever matter unless there's some kind of a weird index action. But with the really small caps, that's just not going to happen because they're not in the indexes. So I'm not caring about that. But in the next 10 minutes or so, or less than 10 minutes, I'm probably going to make a decision on Robinhood and AMC, both in the money, but running out of time to do anything. And speaking of running out of time to do things, I'm glad I got out of that Sofi. I probably just saved myself another 5 pennies as it grinds to the downside. I mean, it's just grinding my gears and barcoding every single day in the afternoon. So the mystery continues with Sofi. Like, it'll actually have some movement, and then it just dies out. And then it's just dark pool central on both sides here. So we'll see what happens in the next few days in Sofi. It is at some fresh lows here. At some point, I mean, it might actually make a move. We'll see. But I thought it would bounce off that 15. Clearly, it hasn't happened. It might just need to wallow around at these lows for a little bit before it makes a move.
You know what this means, boys and girls?
Money.
Oh, man. All right, so there goes Nio, man. Perfectly done trade here, right down. I mean, I don't know if it's perfectly done. I mean, obviously, I would have loaded up with millions of shares, but right back down to VWAP. We called this trade for you. We were playing off some of these highs here, 39 and change. There goes Nio. The story continues, man. This may be my number one stock when we're all said and done. Sonos, no longer my number one stock. Look at this, short. Bang, bang that drum. Short again, guys, all the way to the downside. So Nio, again, gets a little bit of a hot dog treatment here today in the afternoon as it just continues to march to the downside. We're out. Well, we still have a third. So who knows where it's going to go from now, but we're pretty damn happy with this trading today as Nio making money here today, and it's a decent amount. So good trade there. Hopefully you guys can see that. We will talk about, quickly, I'll show you the Toronto imbalances there it is. So we're looking for M's here, and we get K's. So that's nothing that much. Suncor, maybe a little bit of a fall down here. We'll see what happened on the daily or on the minute chart. Really not that much. A couple pennies down, 5 or 6 pennies down. And then nothing else. And then we will have a look. I'll show you quick look here. These are just ARCA imbalances. There's nothing here for the pre-imbalances. We'll wait to see just a bunch of basically nothing. So we'll wait to see when that comes out at 350 with NASDAQ as well. So ARCA and NASDAQ on watch coming out in 7 minutes. So that may change you guys or not. But look at Nio right now, man. It just cracks through VWAP. And what a great trade that was, man. Slaying dragons here. Now 38.66, 67. Let's get a little piece off. We've only taken 2 trades for you guys today on this show. We took Nio short and we took PaySafe long, both winning. And then we did average into our Sonos, which crashed. But that's okay for me anyways today, down to 39.50. Wow, the crash continues on Sono. So good outs there, but yeah, we hammered this stock early. still, that and Nio, my two #1 names today, both battling it out.
Yeah, I just, as you said, Robinhood just
Look
took out the lows
Nio.
as well.
Wow.
So I got 47.33. It'll be 67 pennies on that one to get out of it. But you guys, good look on this Goco because, look, they reported last week and got absolutely shellacked. And when you see an opportunity like this on a daily chart, I mean, sometimes there's going to be a snapback, rubber band, whatever you want to, I guess a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes you just wait for a break. And I saw someone saying, remember 475, and this is what they're getting at, right? Like you get this obvious secondary rollover on Friday, you know, Thursdays when they had the flush, and this is a 475 top. Then you come into today, and if you were only looking at this, you might be saying to yourself, what am I doing with this 475 level? I mean, yeah, sure, it's the high. Sure, it bounced off you up here, but why do I like that breakout? You go back a day and then see what actually happened with that 475 high up here after just a massive gap that can be filled in, and that's where you get that sort of double, 2 layers of confirmation. It even bounces off this level a couple of times before running. So I love that you guys are seeing these sort of patterns. That's what you just got to look for, especially on days where, you know, there's some things moving, but the overall market has been a little bit slower in terms of volumes at least. But anyways, this is Robinhood. It's at the low of the day. Like I said, we got out of it. We didn't want to hold all the way to 47. It's 345, so we'll just take the profit and run. This should be an interesting level for tomorrow at 47. We'll see if it's going to be an actionable one that we can play off of. Kind of hoping it doesn't break. And as for AMC, Robinhood giving you that extended push down through AMC doesn't want to get through VWAP. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this bid down. If it gets to 35, I'll be long gone and out. At this point, I don't even want this breaking 35, like 75 back into the upside. I thought we'd be running into the hills if the market was going to go green, at least with the NASDAQ, but that slowed down. And once the market slowed down, AMC caught a bit of a bid. Winning trade's a winning trade, but I definitely looked a little bit of a gift horse in the mouth by hanging on to the rest of this.
Yeah, follow me up here on Twitter. We just tweeted it out again. And yeah, we did it again. I got some talks about Nio. It's going to be the trade of the day, but here it is one more time, guys. Short. We did it again, man. We're bringing those bags home. So get ready. Don't tell my wife or she buys bags. And you know what that means, guys. So stay away from that. Okay, Nio, 40 cents now and still going downside. We'll watch out here, 38.40, 38.30, things like that. So we'll watch to see where that goes. But I'm pretty excited about Nio. We're coming into 4 minutes left. We've emptied everything out. So we do have 17% or so of this trade left on here. So we'll wait to see where it goes on the downside now. But yeah, there it is, another banger for you on that one. And then one more time here, pay safe. Still doesn't want to go, but we did take that dime. We'll see if it comes out. If it comes out a sell imbalance, man, then we can fly away. No problem. We did talk about Walmart coming out strong after market, so that should be good into that. There are some decent earnings coming tomorrow, so maybe we can get the earnings board soon and we can discuss that. Caterpillar 217. I don't know why that's at the top of my list. Maybe that's coming out. Alibaba 182 today, right back down to the last time I bought. So if you want to join me, I did pick up some Alibaba down here last time, so it's back. You might not want to because it did go all the way to 200 and came right back in. So we can watch out for that one. We just talked about PaySafe. Moderna. Oh, someone asked, am I still in Moderna? No, I mean, I've never, honestly, I wish I was in it. I've never been in it. Moderna is a name that I've missed the whole way. And I did like the short in Moderna because I felt like it got ramped up into, and again, maybe I can show you here, into the S&P edition there. So, or was it the NASDAQ? I can't remember, but it was one of these plays all the way to the upside. It was this little run up from here, like 220 to 325 in about 5 or 6 sessions. Thought it was a little overdone once you got to 350. It faded out a little bit. It got back down to about 318, 320. So if there was some puts, you could have made some money, but then it blew up to 500, and now it's all the way back in. So for me, I think a fair value for Moderna. And again, I mean, it's one of these pandemic plays, so we can keep talking about it. But I mean, maybe down to 225 or so for Moderna. So yeah, something down there is where I'm interested. Nothing until then.
I think you could buy that at 280. Well, the last time I checked, I thought you could buy it at 280. That might actually have changed. Who knows? But I think that level is not that bad, actionably on Moderna. Roblox is going to be reporting, of course, that we know. Yeah, and look, it's actually down 5%. This was moving today. It wasn't necessarily front of the radar when I came in the morning because the volume wasn't that big. But but this has some. If it actually were to fall any further, it has some good structure because it's unbelievable down in the low 60s, obviously, for something that's held up very, very well since it came to market. But the higher low, like every time it's even tested 70 to 75, it just snaps back. So as we're getting into that range, any disappointment could get you right into that buy opportunity on 70. So that's the first thing I'll be looking for, especially. I don't know, in this market, when we've been selling or when you've seen the selling go into the earnings, it's been a pretty solid hint, one that's certainly worth looking at, and you're seeing the same thing here today. Like, this is not what Pinterest did. What Pinterest did was, I don't think I've ever seen the days going into earnings, anyone sell off the way it did, and then just sort of obvious that we're going to get woodshedded, which I had trimmed some at that time, but we waited too late. These things happen. You learn from them to be sure, but watch out for Roblox. It's looking very, very weak going into it, but a fantastic levels there at the low 70s. And then again, if it ever sees 60s, that's definitely a screaming buy. AMC, like I said, we're getting to 350 here, so I did get out of Robinhood. AMC could have a slight imbalance. It might move. I'm likely to cover it in the minutes just after the imbalances come out, whether it comes out good or not. It's still 10 minutes to go, and we're 0.12 away. We're so close to green on the NASDAQ. I'm telling you, I just want to see this streak continue. I'm not quite as confident as Sean. I kind of feel like we're going to get like 0.1 away or 0.01 away and then turn around.
Okay, we'll see. It's going to come out in a second here. I don't know. None of my charts seem to want to work, so I don't know. We'll just wait on this one. Let's call up Apple. That should work here as well. Apple.NQ. So here comes the imbalances right now. We'll see. This is why I think the NASDAQ goes. So there's a bid imbalance right there for Microsoft. There's a sell for Uber. That thing can go to hell. I'll buy it when it's a lot lower. I like it. I don't know what's going on with it. Intel's on there as well. Twitter, Microsoft. That's about it. TLT, we know what that is. The Treasury, Pfizer's on there as a bid. We could see what that's doing on a 1 minute
Video
chart. Not going. And then NVIDIA also buy. That's a big buy there for NVIDIA as well. So NVIDIA trying to make some moves backside there. 195 and change on it, or 198, sorry, on NVIDIA. I apologize. These charts really aren't working at all. Up to 199 or so right now on NVIDIA. So there we go. We'll see. We're only 0.8 away. We'll see if these imbalances can turn it around. I don't know where. At this point, we only have 9 minutes to go. So let's see if the NASDAQ can turn itself back to the green side.
And I did say I would cover that AMC. I've gone ahead and done that. So, it's okay. I'll do this little bear thing. I can't hit that AMC, rocket ship if I'm shorting the stock, but it does hold around that 35 level. So we'll end up taking only about 35 pennies on that last little bit of the trade, but it is what it is. It's still a winning short. Not as good as Robinhood, obviously. Just no fall to an AMC, but good for the bulls, I suppose. Brendan?
All right, we've talked about a few of them already, but let's make it official. Here comes earnings for tonight and tomorrow morning, guys.
We talked Walmart, and we just showed you guys Roblox. It was Home Depot. I was sitting there saying to myself, what is the other retailer that's reporting? It's Home Depot was the other one. And a little alkaline water there, Sean.
Yeah, that's what we talked about this morning. We had those guys on, WTER. We had them on when they were $1 a share, and now you're seeing up to $2. So we'll see alkaline water. Shaq will open anything, including an envelope, and he was promoting for them as well. So we'll see if that got some love through. Where is it, man? Again, I don't know. These, like I said, I'm going to be blowing these charts up.
You know what I saw there?
Maybe blowing my computer up as well at some point.
Well, don't blow the computer up. If you're
I'm hella positive today. It's a great day. I have 0 LFT.
So basically, there's a new version.
I have no red stock.
There's a new version that we had today. I'm telling you right now, my charts didn't freeze once. You know this, right, Sean? Until literally started the show, and all of a sudden they started to go again. I did notice one other name on that list, and only because it's actually on the move a little bit today. I'm going to talk about Express Spa. They're down 7% on the session, so that's another one that this can definitely move on you. I know it's barcoding mostly, but this is certainly a name that has the capability. It should be zooming out, not in. Has the capability of making some big moves up. And if this were to catch any kind of a spike into 220 to 225, that'll be actionable for me going into tomorrow. So it'll be on my list as something to watch for sure. It's under a little bit of pressure today, but overall the volatility needs to be more than moving 5 to 10% to be interested in Express Spa. I just think that it could be doing that post earnings tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. So AMD could have been a hell of a lot better. We got out by the skin of our teeth here on AMD for back-to-back like 20, 30 cent wins here on this name, but it just did bounce off VWAP. So we got to watch out for some weakness coming in AMD. And then we talked about being perfect today. I mean, Nio right now, we are going to let this go through 38.70 here at some point. But we are slightly, looks like we were slightly down on Palantir, but you know. Okay, so right there, 38.70 right there is going to be where we get out. We'll see if this can fall back down here, 38.30, 38.40 now for NIO to come through. So we'll wait for that. We'll check out the imbalances one more time for you. And these imbalance trades really aren't anything, man. I mean, sometimes when you get a crazy number here is when we'll really be super excited. But as you can see, like here's a sell for Twitter that became public knowledge at 350. And since then, I mean, maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. I mean, this is 350, right? It's a sell imbalance. So, I mean, you could see not doing too much there for Twitter. AMCR, as we could see that one there. Why is AMCR on here? I mean, what the heck is going on with that one? Amcor right now? I don't know. That makes no sense. Well, if people put the wrong symbol there, they meant to take away that R. Okay, Twitter, Microsoft. Again, let's see. I mean, that name keeps working, but not really moving off these imbalances. Wish I was in some Pfizer. That looks like that's going to be bouncing off 50. This name seems to have gone a little bit on the imbalance from 75 to 90. So there you go. And guess what, guys? The NASDAQ trying to eke it out, man. Only 4 more minutes. And we got 0.4 to go. So we'll see if that's working out. And we might as well just get out of our pay safe. Look, we put it on a board as a winning trade today, so let's do that. Long here, 55, out the half of it at 65. And now we can get the other half out at 58, hopefully, and just put a winner on the board for us with pay safe one more time. And we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. So a day is a day, and it's not a bad one.
Yeah, I mean, look, 355, that means get flat time. I just covered that NAOV. Like, I wanted to hold it into the close, but give me a break. Like, it's now barcoding at 340. The only thing I'll say about Nanovibronics is the original shorts, and this is that 930 sort of pop. Like, it tries to make a fresh high, reverses off that 350, 350 to 360 area, and then holds this basically all day long, 325. That was the best we could get out. And then even when it made the top at $4, that was still the best we could get out. So, tomorrow I'm going to come in looking at 325 is a bit of an area that we can play around with, and then that $4 is going to remain a good level as well. So you come in, you know what's going to be actionable. Robinhood holding up at 47, so getting out in front of it looked like it was the right call. I think we're going to have a bit of something here on Robinhood, and just to show you guys a 15-minute chart. Robinhood already broke this sort of 47.5. So you can't go any further back in this. But 47 looks like it'll be an interesting level for tomorrow, especially if it doesn't break. Maybe if it gaps up a little bit, maybe like 47.5, 48, and you're staring that in the face. There could be a 47 break on Robinhood, which has looked relatively weak today. I mean, obviously the market's looking pretty well, but Robinhood sold off in the morning, tried to get off the bounce, and then couldn't, and then now sitting on lows of the session. This despite crypto looking strong and the market looking strong. So relative weakness all over the place in Robinhood.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying, man, shorting Hood at 50 should work out for as long as we're here. So I'll let you know, guys, every morning if I think 50 is in jeopardy. So I have to write down Hood. I keep some of the sticky notes around, and today I was very, very specific with what we're doing, and I think that's why, again, starting the week off properly here with Nio, Palantir, Sonos, and Sofi. So the only 4 names I have on there, and we did go to pay safe again. We can check out Sofi quickly. I don't think it's really doing anything. Sofi.n, oops, not .nf, .ny. Is it SoFi.ny or is it .nq? Because I don't know. Right now, my charts really aren't doing anything. Oh, it's .nq. Wow. So now down to $14. Like I said, man, I believe in DeFi, and I think it's going to be great. So I think you just kind of average into these positions or sit on your hands for a while and see what happens. I mean, if the market crashes, a lot of these names are going to be down to zero, man. Like SoFi, PaySafe, a lot Clover, like a lot of these Open Door, like a lot of these newer names don't seem to be working out too well. We could check out on Open though quickly here. Okay, back, so still holding up today, up to $16, but there's a lot of these names that just are weak, man, every day. So I don't mean to include Open Door into this, but you're down 7% today. Why? We already reported, I thought they liked the number, and then it's just Crush City, right? So there's these names that are going to continue to get worked. This is why you got to really differentiate your 2 accounts, like your swing trade account and then the account where I keep all the big dogs into my RRSP account, which is the retirement account. So hopefully we can retire sooner rather than later, but not if you take all my swing trades. You're not retiring because some of those have been down. Actually, not really, but you got to watch out for those SoFis and those PaySafes of the world. Don't dig in too deep on those ones, guys.
And just only 2 minutes to go here, guys, but a couple of things. First, Brendan brought Codex to us a little bit earlier in the session. Just worth noting here, I'm going to show you the 15-minute and maybe zoom it in a little bit just so we can highlight this level. I mean, it's not a hard level. It's 1170 and then a lower high at 1160, a fail through 1160. I mean, if this thing comes in, if I sit down in the morning and we're sitting, still around this like 35 to 1155 area off of these highs, that could be a bit of a retracement. And then it's setting up for a clear breakout through that 11.75 mark. So put Codex on your list. And a reminder, guys, we're gonna have a hiatus on memes and movers until we can iron out all of the technical issues that we've had. It's all about getting you guys a fantastic product. Trader Pratt and Ms. V aren't going anywhere, but we'll be back when that show is ready for the high standards that we know that you expect from us. With 1 minute to go, stick around at 4 o'clock or right when we leave here. Maybe not exactly at 4 o'clock. We'll review the markets, but right after we're done, trade of the day, it's going to be Nio. You could go either way in that stock, but there's been all kinds of weakness in the EV space. So playing it today, certainly worth learning how Sean was able to do that and what his thought process was going into the trades. I know the market moves fast. We do these so that you can get in our heads and see in real time, and maybe with a bit of a better breakdown what we're looking at for those trades. And for those in the meme world, because I just said it, I will note that AMC does continue to hold around these highs, guys. So actually flip, only 20 seconds to go. For all of you bulls out there, your AMC apes, I should say, still holding around that 36, could set up for a bit of a breakout. We are now green as Ms. V heads to the screen, so we just got there, 0.06%, 0.06%.
All right, Ms. V, 5, 4. We called it. I called this, guys. Called that turnaround 2 and 1. And there we go. Just like, thank you, Ms. V. Yes, just like we called that crash earlier on in the morning. Yeah, we talked about Nio. Here, I just put it out again. Our sticky note here, talked about Nio was going to be under pressure and that we would be shorting the 39. So definitely when you're watching the trade of the day, take in consideration the sticky note. Brendan, I don't have to ask you if we turned green, but did we?
Indeed. Right across the board. Nice bounce back, as we were saying when we came on, guys, at 3 o'clock off the morning lows. 0.26 there for the S&P, 0.21 for the Dow. Both another record close for both the S&P and the Dow. The NASDAQ not quite there yet, but ever so close, 0.07 to the upside. Everything else pretty red, including 3+% for both Bitcoin and Ethereum at the bottom end of the board. It's worth mentioning crude was down 3% at one point today, so a bit of a bounce back for oil as well.
Oh, yeah, I guess we can check out our
a little bit there. We didn't check out too much there, but at the end of the day, you do end up on those highs. Market looking strong. The green shirt by Ms. V is basically it doesn't lose. And Trader Pratt actually joined in today. You didn't see him, but he has a green sweater on, and he's wearing a sweater with shorts because apparently that's what kids do these days. I don't think it makes any sense, but Trader Pratt is all over it. But why don't we get there it is. Adidas. I think you're supposed to say Adidas. Adidas, whatever, man. I'm not British. Adidas. It's the Adidas shirt. Looking pretty good there, Pratt, but let's round it off here, Sean.
It's Adidas, so I'll confirm that. But okay, guys, big day today. Look, it was a good one. We called that green move, which was pretty nice. You're going to see the Nio special coming through very, very soon. I want to give a big thank you to Miss Maggie, who is back in the building. Always nice to see her. Puts a smile on our face. She's a really hard worker as well. Thank you to Maggie. Thank you to Lucas as well. Miss V right beside me now. She's going to be leaving me very, very soon. And thank you to Brendan, who's here every single day, bringing you the heat. I'm going to change my layout as well, but stay tuned for, there he is. What's up, Brendan? Hourglass. Remember, we got him on the Hourglass. That was a good one. Finally. He burns us every single day with his knowledge, and we got him on the
He never slips up. He
Hourglass.
never does.
No, he doesn't. But so that's it. Thank you so much, Brendan, once again for an amazing show, and thank you to Neil right here as well. And we will be back tomorrow at 8:30. So join us. Lots of earnings. We'll catch you on the flip side tomorrow morning, 8:30. Ciao.
See you guys.